are joined by former, now East Carolina goalkeeper with the women's soccer team, Maeve English, who is set to continue her soccer career. We will talk about that and a whole lot more. But Maeve, we appreciate your time. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here and grateful for you guys having me on.
Absolutely. And appreciate you coming by the studio today. And Maeve, first of all, we'll get to know you a little bit. But do you know what you and I have in common?
I don't think I do.
We are both proud D.H. Conley Vikings.
Go Vikings.
Go Vikings.
Wow. Connection.
So where are you? Did you grow up here?
I did. Yeah. I actually live like 2 minutes down the road from D.H. Conley.
Okay.
Like right off Corey Road. But yeah, I'm from here, born and raised. All 22 years of life I've spent here in lovely Greenville, North Carolina.
And now you're about to go a long ways away. But,
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that in a moment.
Long ways away from Greenville.
I'm curious because, and we were talking a little international soccer, and over there they have the academies or whatever. You go as a kid basically, and are training and all that. So I'm curious for you, like, what did your my daughter played soccer when she was 7. I played when I was a kid, and it kind of ended there. How did your career, end up you being in the professional ranks? Like, what was your, timeline like?
I feel like my timeline, especially recruiting wise, was one that started really, I think, late compared to others. Especially the kind of youth soccer scene in just the U.S. today is you have these huge, massive clubs that go to big recruiting events, showcase events, and that's kind of how you get recruited. But to be honest, I didn't even really decide to play college soccer until kind of the summer of my junior year, maybe, which is really late in the recruiting process. And, I just happened to live in the backyard of ECU. So Jason Hamilton at the time just came out to a couple of my high school games and was kind of like, this kid's kind of athletic. I guess we can give her a shot. And I was recruited as like the 5th string goalkeeper. So I just kind of took that opportunity, especially with COVID being my freshman year and, kind of a lot of positions getting switched around with people graduating, and just kind of saw an opportunity to kind of put my head down and work hard. And luckily I was rewarded with the starting spot and was able to manage to keep it over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And I think I realized, like, with a lot of good coaching, I was able to develop into a good player, and I just kind of want to keep that development going. And I think the next step in my career is to push myself to a different environment. I think I've loved the past 5 years here, but it's a very comfortable and structured environment in college athletics. So I think in order to kind of push that development and really grow as a player, the next step is to go somewhere very far away, like Greece, and experience a different type of soccer. So I just think that's what's next for me.
That's awesome. So, like, and everybody's different, every situation's different, but do you have advice for girls that are listening right now? Their parents are listening, as far as playing soccer. Is it like play rec league, play for your school, try to find a travel team? What would you tell kids coming up?
I mean, I honestly think, like, for me, it was very intimidating to come into the college scene and with these girls who have spent, their whole, like, youths basically, like, in these huge clubs being developed to be in the same position I am.
Right.
And I think just kind of the biggest part was accepting that even though my path looked a little different, like, we're all at the same level now, and you've just got to accept that opportunity and make the most out of it. But I think the best advice was just everyone has their own unique path, and, anything you set your mind to, you can accomplish. And it's just a matter of moving past those obstacles and working as hard as you can to achieve what you want. So.
Was it always goalkeeper for you? Were you ever running around scoring goals or playing defense?
Yeah, I actually did not want to play goalkeeper for the longest time. I wanted to be a field player and score a bunch of goals and be the face of the program, but it just didn't work out that way. I was way more athletic and just better suited for being a goalkeeper, and I had a coach in my youth days just tell me, like, you're going to go farther as a goalkeeper, so might as well hang up the boots for the field players. So.
Good deal. Well, you became the face of the program by being the goalkeeper.
Yeah, so. You know what? It worked out one way or the other, so I'm thankful that he brought me back down to earth and was like, you need to wear the gloves.
Again, you said like this dream or realization kind of came late in your career, especially compared to others. But do you watch the United States women's team and to get inspired by that, like growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. Hope Solo, obviously, just, a great player, super athletic. Like, I definitely watched her growing up. But I'd say nowadays, like, my favorite goalkeeper is Mary Earps. I don't know if you know who she is, but she played for Manchester United. Now she plays for in Paris Saint-Germain, and she's the English national team goalkeeper. But she's definitely my favorite and someone I've watched for a long time now, and I think my game replicates her a little bit. So she's definitely one of my favorites. But yeah, Hope Solo growing up for sure.
My apologies to Shirley Rhodes, our normal producer, who is off this week, who has traveled miles and miles to see the United States women's national team play, that she's not here for this interview.
Oh,
she's really hating punching air. But this is when Maeve could join us, because I guess you've been away, right?
Yes. Yeah. I was in.
Was that soccer related or?
So like half of it was.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, my family had planned a vacation to Greece anyway.
Really?
Yeah. So it just kind of worked out. We actually ended up extending the first few days of our trip to visit my team and see where I'm going to be. So I was there for a few days. I got to meet the staff in person and meet a couple of the girls and just kind of see the stadium and kind of where I'll be living and stuff. So I got to do that for a couple of days, and then we were on vacation for the last week and a half. So. And
of course, I can say your club's team, but I'm going to let you do it.
I don't think I can say it either. They call it Rhea over there. So
what's that?
Rhea.
Rhea.
R-E-A,
okay.
So.
Oh, okay. There you go. And on that note, so everything you did as far as signing with them and everything, it was virtual. It was.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I haven't even I had to get an agent. Me and Abby Soa, another player on the team, who are both trying to go pro, and we both signed with the same agency called A-Team Football Management. We both signed I want to say it was middle of March. She signed a couple weeks before me, but then I ended up signing too. And so we haven't even met our agent in person, actually.
Wow.
But yeah, it was all virtual. He just kind of brought the opportunity to me and was like, this team really needs a goalkeeper. Funny enough, the goalkeeper that's leaving is actually coming to play in the U.S. for college.
So it was like a trade.
Yeah, basically. We're doing a switcheroo kind of. But yeah, he just came to me and was like, this team needs a goalkeeper. And I was like, perfect. If they think I'm going to be on the field, then that's the opportunity I'm looking for. So.
When does the season begin? When do you have to report?
So I don't know the exact date, but I know that I'll be going back in around the middle of August. We'll start preseason around then, which I think we'll be in for around 6 weeks. And then the main season will start in the middle of September, and it'll go through May. So September to May.
You seem excited. Any nerves at all? Or
I mean, definitely. It's going to be such a different environment.
Yeah.
I feel like I've already felt the effects of not having the structure of the college scene. I didn't realize, having 12 hours of my day scheduled for me, how much it would affect me to not have that anymore. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to push me to develop and grow kind of right away because it is so different. So I'm just kind of excited for that challenge and to see what kind of product it produces, to be honest.
It's funny you bring that up because I talked to a couple of former Pirates recently, Jacob Jenkins-Cowart and Josh Groves on the baseball side, and they said it's good because you do your own thing. If you want to lift, if you want to throw, it's on you. The bad part is
it's also
it's
on
on you. And so you kind of determine your outcome almost.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like that's what I've been kind of experiencing recently is I don't have these certain lifts, practices, team meetings, film, all this stuff already scheduled for me. I've got to review my own practice film. I've got to plan my own lifts, plan my own trainings, all that stuff. And it really is kind of a full realization that it's kind of all in my hands.
Is it true you're leaving the country because you couldn't stand to be in the same state as Gary Higgins? Just kidding. I like Coach Higgins, but man, that was a heartbreaker.
It was a heartbreaker. We really did form a good connection while he was here, and I was sad to see him go, but it's just the nature of the job.
Yeah.
And I love the replacement too, Emily. She's the best. So.
Yeah, she's been with the team, right?
Yeah, she's been here. I want to say it's for 7 years, but she was with me for my whole career, and I've just got absolutely nothing but confidence in her. I mean, I've seen her how hard she works just behind the scenes as an assistant coach, and to see her finally in the head coach role, I think it's nothing but deserving.
And you mentioned Coach Hamilton, the Hammer. Used to love having him on back in the day. But he got it to a good place, I think. And then Gary Higgins kind of took it up another level. So the hope is you just kind of keep it rolling, right?
Absolutely. I mean, she worked with both of them very closely, so she knows exactly what it takes to be a championship team. And yeah, I'm just nothing but confident she's going to make the program her own and have her own successes.
Awesome. Maeve, who are you kind of most excited about? Who's going to be leading the team this next season?
Well, you've got the returners in Julie and Caitlin. I think they were massive for us last fall. They just both had great performances. So I'm excited to see where they take the program this year. And then you've got obviously the veterans in Molly Thomas and Holly Schlegel, who haven't been able to contribute, as much as we'd like on the field, just with, the injuries they've dealt with. But I think they're finally getting their opportunity in their 5th and 6th years. So I'm really excited to see them. And then Bella Gutierrez, also a good returner. She was kind of an impact sub for us in the fall, but she's just a great, well-rounded player. So I'm really excited to see them too.
Awesome stuff. Talking to Maeve English. Maeve, you messaged Pirate Radio a while back.
A couple years ago.
Yeah. Actually, 2023. And I'll paraphrase, but you wanted more women's sports covered on Pirate Radio. And I want to hear your take on just being an advocate for women's sports as an athlete. What would you like? What could we do better at Pirate Radio?
I really appreciate you just kind of asking that question in general, because there's not a lot of radio stations or just kind of media coverage in general that are willing to ask that question. But, I think the biggest thing I've learned over the past 5 years is whether we have the platform or the financial support or not, like, we're putting in the same amount of work as all of these sports who are financially backed. Not that we aren't, but it's definitely not the
different
same.
levels.
Just not the same scale. And so I think it's just nice to make sure that we're getting well-rounded coverage. I think, for example, this past year, like, all of our female sports had such successful years. I mean, lacrosse making it to the semifinals of the conference tournament. You've got a freshman on the track team I think she was just at NCAA regionals, or even the championships. And then, you've got like Jocelyn Pringle, who was the American Conference champion, and then we were conference champions. Like,
softball made a little run.
They were in there, and then like swimming and diving. Frida, the diver, like, she was unreal. Like, she has taken that program through the roof. But yeah, I just think I've seen the women's sports like all across this our athletics department grow over my past 5 years. So I just really would like to see more coverage in general on everything. Because we are so successful.
If you and Jennings Hall keep holding our feet to the fire, it'll get done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, volleyball had a great year as well. They're up too. Women's basketball, just all of them. I think they all deserve more coverage, and I would love to see it happen.
Good deal. Yeah. And we will take and I tried to develop relationships with the coaches and play. Look, I had a lot of fun with Emma Jackson and Morgan coming in, and some of the softball players, and would like to do more of that. And we definitely need to do more of that on the soccer side. We have Coach Higgins on, but would love to get more players involved in that too.
Would love to see you guys at some games in the fall. Johnson Stadium gets rocking, so would definitely love to see that.
What, the hooligans or the what do they call them? Scallywags.
Yeah, they're unreal. So funny. I love them.
Good deal. Well, what do you do off the pitch, as they call it? What do you like to do for fun?
Probably plan what I'm going to be doing on the pitch next.
Really?
Yeah, since it's all in my free time now. No, I like to listen to music.
Did you play any other sports?
I did. Growing up, I played basketball. I swam. I actually did gymnastics for a little bit until I was like 10 or 12.
Well-rounded, sounds like.
Yeah, I think it's where I get my athleticism from. But yeah, I actually do like to play basketball a little bit. Bring back the roots. Get the hand-eye coordination going again.
Did you play at Conley? What'd you do at Conley?
I played my freshman year. I actually played tennis at Conley too.
Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't swim for Conley. Yeah, I think I only played basketball and tennis. and then soccer, obviously.
Yeah.
But
How's Conley, and you've been removed from it for a little while now, but like how are they doing as far as like just supporting soccer, women's soccer, and teaching the game? Like the Eastern North Carolina is not traditionally a soccer place, but there's a lot of it going on. So how does Conley do?
They do a good job. I'm kind of in contact with the coaches a little bit. Brad Grandpa, and then you have the Carbajal sisters, actually, Karina and Marley. They've been there. I played with Karina while I was there, and then Marley was our coach for a little bit. But yeah, they've been there for years, and they do a good job. And I love both of them. So yeah, they're doing a good job. I honestly don't know how the program did this year, but I know a couple girls on the team, and I think regardless of results, I think they're putting together good experiences there, which is all that matters.
Do you feel like the sport itself is in a healthy place right now? Women's soccer as a whole?
Just in Greenville or as a whole?
Kind of overall, like every.
Well, I actually saw something yesterday that I think it's by like 2030, women's soccer is on track to be the 5th largest sport like in the world, which is absolutely unreal. But I think it's because it's finally growing in the U.S. I think the NWSL, and then you have the Women's Super League too, that has grown a lot this year in their inaugural year. But I think that's bringing a lot of growth to the game, and then it's obviously been way more developed over in Europe just because they've had more programs that have been around for longer, and more women's games just kind of on the forefront there. But yeah, I'm really happy to see it kind of grow in the U.S., and it makes me excited to hopefully come back eventually and play here in the U.S. But yeah, I think it's in a really good spot. We've got the Women's Euros this summer, and then the World Cup. I think the next one is 2027, something like that.
All right. Men's World Cup is here
Men's World Cup is
next year, right?
Next in 2026.
Yeah.
Yes, that will be huge for soccer. So I'm really excited for that too.
All right. Well, one thing we do here at Pirate Radio is keep up with our former Pirates. So now Shirley will have our daily reports on what's going on in Greece with Maeve English and her club. So that'll be fun to follow.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it'll be a fun journey, and yeah, that'll be awesome.
Well, nice to meet you. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll keep in touch. We'll do it again. Maybe do a season recap with you next year.
That would be awesome.
I did want to ask you. You seem to not only are you good at it, but love the game. Is soccer going to be something you do for the rest of your life in one way, shape, or form, or do you have something planned when your playing days are over?
Well, I was an engineering major, and while I loved my 4 years of engineering, I hope I never have to use that degree. But yeah, I want to play for as long as my body is able to, and kind of see how far that goes. Goalkeepers, we don't have as much stress on the body as a field player, and kind of normally have a longer career than a field player, so I hope to kind of stretch it as far as I can. And then I think I would want to get into coaching, but maybe more just only on the goalkeeper side. I think being a head coach is a lot of different personalities to manage, and I just don't know that I'd be able to do that. But yeah, I think I just want to stay in and around the game as long as possible, whatever role that looks like for me. We'll see.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you, Maeve.
Thank you.
We'll be pulling for you all the way back here in Greenville, North Carolina. And wishing you the best.
Greek.
We'll learn a little Greek. We'll have a Greek salad. What do they eat over there in Greece, Wes?
Lots of heroes. Greek salads.
I can do that. Yeah. Wes, I forgot to ask. Do you have a question for Maeve?
No, I think she's already covered it all.
She did. She covered it all. All right, Maeve, we'll let you run. Appreciate it, and we'll do it again down the road with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Maeve English joining us.